Hello, fun people. It's not quite 8 o'clock yet, and I'm still getting set up, but I am so excited that I'm just going to talk for a minute while I get ready and also find some music to play that is not illegal or whatever you call it. Yeah, and hopefully no commercials as well. So I got some new paints I'm trying out. My niece sent me for Christmas, and I am so excited because these are iridescent, and I'm going to put these over my new acrylic paints. I've never heard of this brand, Chocola. Sounds fun, but who doesn't love new paints or, any kind of painting supplies, right? I know I really enjoy them. So I'm going to do that. Yeah. And if you'd like to ask any questions or give me any ideas or anything like that of your own. Oh, look at that. You can see my hands. Woo. Let's see if I can move this up a little, because you will definitely see my hands in a little bit. So these are just a few colors I thought would be fun to try. And in just a bit, I just primed this white canvas. It's a panel board, not quite dry yet, with a little bit of white paint and a little bit of burnt umber. So it's nearly dry enough to transfer my painting onto. And I hit the live button accidentally before I was ready, but I am excited. I have been offline for quite a while, and with the holidays and everything going on, so there's so many things. So I just wanted to get back in, and hopefully my new mic is working. I got a new microphone so you can hear me better. So I'm hoping that is working okay. If anyone wants to let me know, that would be awesome. If you can hear me, just shoot me a what do you call it? A comment, that kind of thing. So that would be really nice. And we're going to start this off here. I got my little guy to hold my other phone so I can see the comments. I did get a new, whoops, that's the wrong button. I got a new camera from a good friend of mine. Oh, hey, Jasper, IDK Jasper, baby oil. Hi, baby oil. Well, thank you for joining my stream. I'm also going to be, having some wine, a little bit of wine. What do you call that? Some social liquid confidence, right? So Jasper, do you do any kind of art? Just trying to dry off this canvas. With acrylics, usually they dry pretty fast, but sometimes on the edges, the paint drips off and it'll stay wet a bit. So this is just a canvas board that came with my new set of paints. Actually, it's two sets. Let's get that down here where you can see it. So first I'm going to tape my subject here. Oops, missed a little bit. This is kind of going to be my inspiration tonight. And then I always just like to throw in some doodles and just, whatever I feel because art is not, it's subjective to your view, how you feel, things like that. Okay, I think I got the paint off now. It's pretty dry. And we'll put this right in the middle here. I think this would be a good spot. Yeah. Use a little bit of tape to tape that on there, nice. And I know I have some tape here somewhere. Rich, hey Rich, good to see you. I'm so excited to hear from you again. How has your night been going? It's so nice to have you come back and join my stream. Can you hear me okay? I know you'll tell me. With that new mic I got. And also I have that new camera you got me, but some reason the SD card isn't working that well, so I haven't really been able to use it yet that well. Unfortunately, I've been working on it. I finally got the case back off of it. All right, here we go. I'm just going to tape this on here. Oops, just up here actually, because I'm going to have to lift it up and see how it's looking. And I'll use one of my, what do you call these? Like a stipple, or if anybody knows the name, that'll work, I think. And I'm using, which side is it? Carbon paper just to copy it on, just to trace it a bit. Sometimes I draw my own. I like to draw my own, but today I'm just going to do a little carbon so it can get right to the painting. And I'm just going to use this little stipple. I think it's called a, it's not a stipple or whatever you call it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm just going to kind of have a relaxing night and try not to talk too much so I can focus on my actual art. And this kind of reminds me of, I don't know, reminds me, this kind of thing just reminds me of, or makes me feel like she's just like flowing in the wind, going with the flow, I guess. I think that's what I would say, going with the flow. And I'm just going to do a few of these hair things. Probably add my own. I do like to do that. All right, so we got some ears, we've got some eyes. And it doesn't look like much right away, of course. It all comes together in the end, usually. And there's a little bit of her mouth, a little bit of lips. Don't give me no lip. Joking. Make that or that. And I don't like the way this just stops here, so I'm just gonna bring this up a little bit invisibly. And we'll take this out and see how it looks. Chaos Duo. Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Hey, thanks for joining me. I am so excited that you are here joining me tonight. How have you been? What's new with you? I think I need to do this one more time. Oops, get this really on there really good. Boop. Yeah, we want to make sure we get a good idea of, you know, where her face is, and her neck, her chin, her lips. And then you can take it from there. You can go anywhere you want from there. Once you get that base face, so I'm saying base face down, you can actually do pretty much anything you like. All right. And thanks for saying beautiful, Chaos Duo. That is so sweet of you. Can you hear me okay? I'm just so excited to be here tonight, finally after the holidays and all of the stuff we went through. It didn't really show up, but I can see it, so I'll just kind of pencil over it so you can see it as well. And I'm going to use my watercolor pencils to do that with, because they break down nice. Or you can paint over them very nicely, actually, and it gives you a good idea of what you are painting, at the same time laying out, giving you a layout of your painting base picture. So I'll just use, I think I'm just going to use blue, light blue, and this is like a watercolor pencil, Kimberly brand. And once I found these, I was so excited, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, because I can draw. I don't have to worry about, a pencil smearing everywhere. And I can also work it into my painting, being that it's a watercolor. And I am going to use blue around her mouth as well. There we go. And then on her chin, like I said, I can see it. It's barely there. That carbon paper didn't work that well. And it worked well enough for me to see it just a bit, not great. All right. And then I'm adding my own touches to it. I do need a little bit more of her ear right there. See if I can match this up where I had it before. It's like, once you're done, it's like, oh my gosh, how do I match this up? And am I getting the right angle? So I got to peek under here. See if it's close. There's an eyebrow. I'm going to go with that. And just get that ear in there really good. I just don't like messing too much with details when I'm trying to stream. Although off camera, I'm like super detailed. There we go. There's a little bit better ear. And I'm just going to have to look at this for a second. Copy it, because I don't know why it's just not coming in the way I want it to. So we're going to go ahead and improvise by seeing how good of an artist I can be by just kind of drawing on my own tonight. Like I said, it's been so long since I've done this. I'm just so excited to be back. The holidays were incredibly, you name it, whatever you want to call them, they were the holidays. All right, and then this kind of goes across here, and then we've got our hair this way. And hair is subjective. You can have it be anything you want it to be. You can have it go any way you want. So that's the part I'm going to do on my own. I just wanted to get this base face down for now with my watercolor paints, or pencils, I mean, which is awesome, because you can even, like, I'm going to take a little bit of this orange pencil and just kind of give it, just kind of give it some oranginess. Let's see if I can get a little closer there for you. Hope you can see that all right. I'm just going to give her face a little oranginess just to start it off. Get her ear in there. Yeah, there we go. Nice and simple. Little forehead action. And maybe just a hint of, what is this one? Some kind of redness. I'm just going to give her a little bit of redness in her cheeks, not too much, because she's not really embarrassed. Maybe a little on her nose. Yeah, there we go. And maybe a teens. I think I'm seeing a hair. There it goes. I'm going to give her a little bit of darker red lips, and I'm going to leave that one empty for now. We'll fill that in later. So Martin 1234. Oh, excuse me, Matin 1234. I am Iranian. What is your opinion about Iran? Dude, I have no opinion. I'm just focusing on art right now. If you'd like to join me with just art, that would be wonderful. Thank you for joining my stream. And that looks like I'm going to need a little bit more wine in my glass. It's going fast for my liquid confidence. Okay, next is picking a good brush. I want a nice kind of, since I'm using acrylic paints, normally I like to use oil is my favorite medium, but since I got these for Christmas, I cannot wait to try them out. So I'm going to be using acrylic paints, and also these are, like I said, iridescent. And I'm not sure what they'll look like, but we're going to find out how they look. So let me get a good water brush kind of thing going. That one looks like it might hold some good water there, right? And also, this is more of a liner brush, so I'll show you my brushes are a little bit, let's go up here. Okay, I have a shorter liner brush, a bigger one that holds more water. And let's see if I can find another one here. That's okay, it might work. See how it's kind of frayed? It'll work for like fuzzy stuff. There's always a lot of different brushes, but let's get to coloring right now, and then we can pick out some more brushes later. And we're going to start with our bigger brush, and I'm going to lay down a little bit, smear like our watercolor pencil to get some color in there. There we go. One thing I do love is a lot of color. I've always been interested in color my whole life. Like, color is just the thing, you know, I don't know, it's just beautiful. Everyone has like a favorite color, I think, or at least even a couple favorite colors. When I was younger, it was always pink and purple. Pink and purple this, pink and purple that. And as I got older, it kind of turned into like some blue and greens, teals, things like that. Watercolors. Since I'm in Florida, I love the color of water. Just gonna use my finger a little bit, and then clean my brush off nice. Just kind of slowly. Now I like to take, and I dip my brush in water. Let me pull this over here. I dip my brush in water. I rub it off on the edge of the jar, and then I just kind of flatten it till that shine goes away. And I don't want a lot of water on this brush because it's already on the canvas. So I'm just kind of mellowing out what we've done. I'm going to let that dry a bit. And next we'll get to our acrylic paints here. So in this box of new paints I got for Christmas came this little palette, plastic palette. So we'll try this out tonight. Let's see, which colors do we want to use? That is the question. And I have so many colors to choose from. Sometimes it's a bit hard for me to do that. I'm going to start with a nice, let's see, this says it's apricot. It looks a bit pink to me, but I like it. So we're going to just put a little dot there. And then I'm going to move it. See this one out so I know which colors I'm using. I'm just going to kind of smush it around a little bit. Add a little bit more water so for more fluidity. And while I'm doing this, I need to take my mind off of the day. So let's get that spread around. That's not too bad of a consistency for an acrylic paint. It's a little bit thick, but not too thick. It's kind of thin, but not too thin. And just spread it on out like so. And I'm not going to hurry on this. I'm going to just focus mostly on her face tonight and eventually throw some flowers and some other beautiful things around her. She looks kind of dreamy, don't you think? Pretty much kind of dreamy, so yeah. There we go. We don't need this yet. Well, phthalo blue and phthalo green are two of my favorite colors. I use them for mermaids a lot. So I'll probably use them around in the background. Cobalt blue is a stable color. It kind of gives it a little more, let's see, there's opaque and there's transparency. So it'd be, I guess, more opaque. Mr. Jang, my man, my beautiful son, don't forget to like that stream. Definitely, please like my stream, subscribe, leave a comment, hopefully a nice one if you can. I would appreciate. And Mr. Jang is my awesome son who does awesome streaming. Game streaming has Mr. Jang, yes. Now I have a burnt sienna, raw sienna. So much to choose from. Yellow ochre is always a good color too. So we won't get too many colors out right now, but I just want one to kind of, what do you call it? I just kind of want to give her some shading right in here. So I'm going to put my big brush away. I know you can't see all that I'm doing. I'll just lift this up a little so you can see kind of over here. This is my fish bowl I'm using for my water jar. And so I'm just kind of cleaning the big brush off. And this is the little one that's kind of frayed. But I like it because, and then also you scrape off a little water. You don't want too much water, really, depending on your needs. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of raw sienna and burnt umber. And also, I think deep yellow. I don't know. Does anyone know a lot about color? I look kind of orangey, actually. I'm going to cancel the deep yellow. And what's this one? Raw sienna. I think this is more of a sandy. It's kind of muddy, but we'll put that in our little tray here. And that's our raw sienna. I'm not using a ton of it. Oh, whoops, where'd my raw sienna go? I got to keep the colors I'm using over here so I remember which one I used. And let's head right back down here so you can see that painting. There we go. And I'm just going to, my brush is wet, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this raw sienna. And I want to shade right through here because this is a dark area on her neck where the light isn't shining. So Tony, Mr. Jang, how is your stream going? I watched it a little bit this afternoon, but I couldn't say hello because I was a super busy day, as was yesterday. So, but I got to watch your stream, and it was pretty good for a while. I mean, actually, the whole time I got to watch it, and I really miss you. Let's see here. Thanks for saying hello. You made me real happy. You just made my whole day. A little bit more, just a teensy paint, just on the tip. Don't need a lot. I'm just going to put a little bit in here. And when you mix your little bit of paint with the lighter paint, you get a nice lighter color. You just kind of, I mix on my canvas. A lot of people mix on their palette first, and I do that when I have something special, you know, and like a good project I'm working on. But tonight I'm just kind of like freestyling and trying to get the most of the idea going here. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Listen, I'm trying not to spend a lot of time on one area too much. And she has a little shading down here, but not all the way to the bottom, because that's kind of, I don't know, there's kind of like, I don't know what you call it, like a little happy barrier there. Now, being that it's a new year, I've made a New Year's resolution. Has anyone else made a New Year's resolution? Hey, Dros52. Let's see, ask for the cameras. Tim, Rachel, I know you was live here. I don't know what TM means, I'm sorry. I'm actually, if you're asking about what camera I'm using, I'm just using my cell phone right now. I have a really good friend. He bought me an awesome camera. Yeah, it's kind of, it's called Action 4. It's like a GoPro kind of thing, but I'm working on getting all the right materials for it. So my next stream will be different. And I also, like, if you don't want your acrylics to dry really quickly, there's also a thing called, it's a brand, Liquitex. Okay. I think my camera went out for a second. Back on. And now I'm just going to kind of slowly, just lightly kind of try to blend that in a little bit. And that little bit of red there, that was from my watercolor pencil right here. Let's get a little closer. I haven't used canvas board much. It's not one of the things that I normally use. Now this is an iridescent paint, acrylic paint. I haven't used, but I'm going to try it right now. It'll be a new thing for me. Give that a little dab. No, don't tell me I have to take the cover off. It's brand new. Oh, I see. There's another plastic thing inside of that. Oopsie. Oh, whoops. That's kind of cool. Just spread that around here. I like a lot of color. Wherever it comes from, color is my thing. Just gonna wave that dry a bit and use my dry brush. Yeah, I'm so used to oils. I've gotten out of the habit of acrylics. Anybody else use acrylic paint? And Tony, I know you've used, and Mr. Jang, you've used my son, my awesome son. You can find him online, usually during the day. He loves to stream video games a lot. He's really, really awesome at Apex Legends. So instead of putting this on the palette, one thing I do is I just take a clean brush and I just dip it right into the paint itself. And I have quite a bit of paint on there. And we're going to put it right over her lips. There we go. So I'm just going to have a little quiet time for a minute. And let's see, I'm going to use a little bit of our phthalo blue. Like I said, that was my favorite color. And I do mix on the canvas a lot. See how dark that is? And I have another brand of paint that I always use. It's a really wet paint. It's Ceram Coat, and it comes in this bottle because every artist knows you use a lot of white. So I'm going to kind of dip this down here. And I kind of want to have a glowy effect around her. So in my iridescent bag here, I've got kind of it's called Yellow Flash. And I have white golden flash. That's interesting. Might use that later. Right now we'll try our yellow flash. And again, I have to remember to take the plastic lid off. And we're going to take our plastic lid with all the paint on it. Once it pops off, there we go. And I'm just going to kind of smear it around. You can kind of see that shine on there. That's nice, right? I like it. So one thing with when you're painting, you have the freedom to make it however you want. Oops, that went a little further than I expected. Get that down here. Okay, there we go. All right. Kind of like that yellow. That is so sparkly. Can you see that sparkle? Maybe it's too much sparkle. Let's kind of take a look at that and see how it looks. Very sparkly. Let's kind of take it away from the light for a minute and see how it looks without too much light on it. Oh, I love that sparkle. These iridescent paints are amazing. I don't want too much white. I want some yellow in there for a nice glowing effect. These have a very good consistency as well. Now, I'll just say, being as I live in Florida, and I'm on the Gulf side, there has been a big plume of red tide. When red tide arrives, it can kill a lot of fish, which it is right now because it's a very big red tide going on. And it makes what happens with red tide. So if you're planning on coming to Florida, please keep that in mind. Red tide kills fish. It causes respiratory issues. So if you have asthma, you do not want to go in the water or even near it with red tide. So if you're planning on coming to Florida, make sure that you check the red tide in the area that you're going to be visiting. And also the hurricanes have kind of rearranged our beaches a bit. All right, now here comes the magic of that phthalo blue, and this is why I like it. It looks so dark, right? So I'm putting our white around it. And here comes the magic of phthalo blue. It, with more white, it's kind of a glowing, beautiful glowing color. And you can go from lighter to darker depending on how much white you use. Just grabbing some of that white for up here. And I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. If you join me for a minute, 5 minutes, the whole time, 30 seconds, hey, I have ADD. I know how it is. Hard to concentrate on a lot. Things can get boring real quick, but I just want to have a nice quiet stream tonight and just kind of get back. Oops, am I scratching? Can you hear me okay? I just kind of want to get back into that feeling of, just painting. A lot happened over the holidays. Oh, that's so gorgeous. There's some extra white. I'm just going to throw it up here. And now over here, we don't have a lot of white, but we have some yellow and we have the blue. So it kind of gives it a little bit of a green tint. And I'm just going to smoosh that on. Maybe add a little more water. It's kind of dry. There we go. Now, live streaming isn't something, I was afraid to live stream for a long, long time, for a couple years. My son, Mr. Jang, he always encouraged me to do it. He's like, just go for it, Mom. Don't be afraid. Fear is, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And so I was like, but I'm still afraid. Let's add a little bit more. Sorry about the shadow here. And I'm going to pull this up to make sure you can see it all. And here's a little bit of yellow came out, so that's cool. I wanted a little more green color going on. It's fun because when you blend the colors, you get all these colors you just don't expect when it's right on the canvas. Let's see if I can pull that back a little. Come on, yellow, get out of there. Oops. Well, it came out all right. Like, this is a yellow flash iridescent. Make that. Let's get, okay, I've got quite a bit of blue left on my brush. So what we're going to do is just, I'm putting my brush in the jar just to get it wet. And kind of just bring it around like so. And up here is going to be our light area. That shine. But live streaming is something I was like, oh, you know, I'm too afraid. People will criticize me, putting myself out there. You know, and I watch so many other people, other artists stream that are so inspiring. And I'm always like, wow, you know, they're so brave and look how well they're doing and that kind of thing. Some more yellow. Now with acrylics, you should let the first layer kind of dry, and then you go over the top with the other layers. Now, being that I use a lot, let's see, you can barely see that. Let me bring that up a bit. Hopefully you can see that a little better. Yeah, being that I'm so used to using oil paints, and blending them while they're still wet, sometimes I forget that's what I'm doing. And so as long as I remember that with acrylics, you know, they're a lot faster, they dry quicker. Now this right here is kind of clumpy, so I'm going to put in a little bit of iridescent. Let's see, we've got green flash. What else do we have? I'm trying to find a lighter color. Emerald green flash. One's a little bit greener. Let's try that one. I'm going to throw that in with a yellow and blue. Nope. And I didn't think to take off all of the lids with new paints. And thank you, Tiva, for sending me some new paints for Christmas. And also Kelsey, that was really awesome of you to send me some new paints like that. I'm just so excited. I've got a pencil set from you that's just amazing, which I'll be using in another video coming up. All right. I think this is the bigger brush I was using, so I'm going to get that wet and then kind of dip a little bit of water off. Work that in there. It's kind of a transparent, it looks like a transparent, iridescent transparency. It's really pretty. All right, time for some quiet focus time for me. And did we start out with the red flash? I think we did. Let me just double check here. Nope, the lid's still on that one. It must have been the pink flash. Let's find out. A little pink back up here. Oh, come on, one of these had. Yeah, it is this one. Okay. Give it a little bang. That paint down here. And let's add some more white. This is from a different company. Actually, I should try the new one. It's called, there's two new white ones that are iridescent, white purple and white golden. This is golden and this is purple. So I'll use the white purple up here and I'll use the white golden down toward the bottom. We get that dreamy gal just kind of floating around, like feeling like all of her beautiful emotions. See, this is the golden. Oh my gosh, I love the shine on this. But I'm going to mix it with the regular paint. And I'm going to use a lemon yellow. I think, let's see, lemon yellow or maybe mid yellow. Let's try mid yellow. There's so many types of yellows and so many types of blues and a zillion types of whites. I don't know if you can name any of those. Let's put a little bit of regular down there. A little bit of regular up here. Just a tad. And now we're going to blend these all together. I was using this brush here. It's kind of pointed for watercolors. But now I'm going to change to, I think, you know what? I'm going to get kind of a bushier brush. I know this is a mop brush, I think. Royal, I got paint all over me. A Zen Royal Lang Nickel. And it's got this cropped edge here. And this is more of a blending brush. It's really pretty and really soft. So we're going to get that a little bit wet and dab off. Yeah. Once I get that other camera working that Rich gave me. Hey, Anastasia! Oh, my girl. Hey, so good to see you on here. I was hoping I would see you tonight. So I'm using my regular acrylic color. You can see it kind of bumped up there. So I'm going to use this little side of my paintbrush there to kind of take it off. And where's that other white I was using? Here it is. This is our that's our white purple. I haven't opened that yet. This is our white golden. Let's get some of that back in here. Yeah, I think white is one of the main colors people use. So Anastasia, what are you working on right now? I know Anastasia is another artist. She does a fantastic job. Let's see, how long have you been painting, Anastasia? I know it's been at least 10 years or more, right? And while we wait for her to answer, I'm just going to kind of swirl this around. And it looks like we got a little bit of a paintbrush hair right in there. And every artist has their own way to paint. They have their own topics they enjoy doing, their own style. And that's what makes art art. Is all that diversity and all that creativity and imagination. And a lot of people do paint realism, which I think is awesome. Okay, we got that pink spot right there. But since I got a lot of yellow going on right over here, might as well get that mixed in for now. And that's our yellow regular acrylic paint without the iridescent. So I just want a little more solid color there. There we go. And also about layering, now that I'm remembering, you know, like acrylics are layered, I have some really exciting ideas for this painting to finish it. And new brushes always have little pieces that come out like, and pull out. Sometimes you can just cut those off. And right now I'm going to add some of our our purple. It's a purple iridescent paint. So let's get the top off of that one. Anastasia, you've been painting since 1998. Oh my goodness. And you just finished the mushroom painting. That's my cover photo. It's a commission piece that's about to go to its new home. Oh, how exciting. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Can we see that on a website, or can we see that on Instagram or your Facebook? Let us know so we can check out the awesome mushroom, what did you call it? Mushroom painting. Sounds really interesting. And put the lid on here because white is an awesome color. And I've never actually seen purple, white purple flash iridescent paint or even heard of that color. So we're going to go ahead and throw that down here with the pinks. And a little more here. And one of my favorite things to use when I'm doing acrylic painting, oh, this is the vodka one, is a spray bottle with water in it to keep our paints looking fresh and, you know, have a little bit of, keep the moisture so they don't dry up too fast. And also I could be using that acrylic medium that also keeps things wet. And being that I cannot find my spray bottle right now, so I'm so excited to get into this, I am going to use a little bit of our Liquitex acrylic medium. Anastasia, yes, post it on your Facebook page and Instagram. It's called Moral Magic. So if we type in Moral Magic, can we find it that way? What is your subject? I'm sorry, I came to the party late. My subject is I'm trying out new paints that I got for Christmas that I've never used. It's a new brand. I don't even know the brand. It's like a Chocola. Can you see that? Chocola. And also these iridescent paints from Art Me. Not really sure where they came from, but I'm having fun with them and using my little white mop brush here to just kind of bring these colors around to fruition. Check this out. We're just adding our pinks. Oh, this is beautiful. I used to paint a lot with acrylic, and then one day I decided, well, I should learn oils. And I learned oils, and I love them so much because it was so easy to blend. And it stayed wet so I could work it easily. A lot of people do not like that. However, for me, it was something, it just resonated with me. And I just loved it. I just love the versatility of oils. And here I am trying to get back into acrylics. If anyone has any tips for me. My subject, oh yeah, fun. Thanks, Anastasia. I'm so excited to see you here on my stream tonight. And I hope you stream soon so I can watch you. And what are your favorite topics to paint? Do you have any? Now I've got a lot of pink on here, and I'm just smushing around on her face right now. I think the paint on her face is dry from earlier. This really does hold a lot of paint. Look at that. Look at all that paint. Right. Now up here you can see it needs a little bit more real white, just plain old white. So again, Anastasia, when you say it's called Morel Magic, is that something we can like Google on Instagram, or on Google or on Instagram, or do we need to go to somewhere special to find that? Because I'd really love to see your beautiful mushroom painting. I think you did show me a little bit of it before. I'm just going to wipe off this brush and get the excess paint off. Give it a little smush around. And when that dries, we're going to work on her face a little bit and give her some more features. I'm just so excited to see my friends here tonight. I'm hoping I'll see some more. What's today? What is it? Tuesday or Wednesday or something, right? I think, yeah, it's Tuesday here in Florida. And I know everybody up north is freezing because of the winter weather and the winter storm up North America. And so I don't want to complain too much. I'm not really complaining. I'm actually excited because here in Florida, Southwest Florida, actually near the Gulf, it's a really nice, to me, I've been here 10 years, and it's a very nice break from the extreme heat and humidity we get in the summer. And as I get older, we're using a burnt umber here, and this one here was a raw sienna. And these colors are really nice. They have a good consistency, good liquid consistency. And I'm going to find my smaller brushes, my smaller liner brushes, like so. I think this one is a 5-0. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to show you. Light might be weird. So let me get that wet. And you're not a true artist unless you get paint all over you, right? All right. Might need another paper towel. Paper towels, you need a lot of paper towels when you're painting. In oils, I like to use cloth because the paper towels have fibers in them that can leave a residue in the paint. And I feel like I use too much white here. So I'm getting this brush a little bit wet and using it as an eraser right there. See that? You can just take some paint off. Check that out. All right, I think I started at 8. It's been almost an hour. So I'm going to say that we're near completion here. I'm not going to, a lot of times I wind up painting for like 2 hours, and I'm trying not to do that tonight. I mean, I'm ADHD. I don't even have that much attention span. But I do want to get this going and enjoy your company along the way. Now we're going to use our smaller brush here to kind of give her some more features. Add a little bit of water, just a teeny bit. Bring that over here. Kind of load up the brush. There we go. And my friend has this awesome, what do you call it, a magnifying light. And he has offered to give that to me for my art, which I kind of wish I had right now. But I will be getting that soon. Get a little dreaminess going on here. Anastasia and I were planning on painting together. She lives in North Dakota, I think. Oh, hey, there you are. Just posted to Instagram and Facebook. More Moral Magic. Hashtag Moral Magic. Oh, thank you. That's really awesome. So if anyone wants to check out her Facebook or Instagram, Anastasia Bigler Seberg and hashtag Moral Magic, just go right ahead over there. You can see some of her beautiful artwork. I can't even tell you how many years I've been painting. It's more than I care to say at this time. There's quite a bit of water on my brush. There we go. Get some of that off. And my cup is out of my what do you call it, juice. The self-confidence juice or whatever. If anyone's ever sang karaoke, you'll know what I'm talking about. And to getting the right angles, sometimes you really have to adjust the way you're angling your hand. You know, you can't expect to like do a beautiful, perfect angle like this, and I'm going backwards. So I'm going to turn my canvas to make it Anastasia. My daughter is watching you too. Oh, hi! Another follower. Oh, I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. I see her. I've been watching her grow up on Facebook. I'm trying really hard to remember her name, but hi, daughter. I know she's probably a beautiful artist as well. Must run in the family. There's that one. Gonna bring a little bit of brown through here. Under her ear. We'll get to her chin in a minute. I'm just gonna focus on her hair for a second. All right, now this usually has vodka in it, which is a good eraser for acrylic paints if you use a Q-tip. But right now I'm not trying to erase. I'm just trying to keep my paints wet. Look at all that pink. I used a lot of pink in there and didn't really blend it in, but that's okay because it's going to blend in with my other colors. I'm going to use a little bit now of raw sienna around her ear. A little bit better coloring in there. And then I'm going to use the hair going right across the top here with a little bit of our burnt umber. It's beautiful. Rainy. Oh, hi, Rainy. That's your name. I knew it. I just couldn't remember it. I'm so excited that you're watching my stream. And I know you're an artist too, aren't you? I think I've seen your art a little bit on Facebook. Or maybe it's on Instagram. Either way. Yes, very talented family. Indeed. A lot of my family's talented as well. Oh my gosh, I'm going to use some phthalo green, or should I use iridescent flash green? We use that here. I think if I mix a little phthalo green with some white, let's put that over here. A little bit of phthalo green, not too much. A little goes a long way, especially when you're mixing it with white because we want a lighter color. I'm also going to use a little bit of our phthalo blue because I want a little bit of a variety here. Just a teeny dab, not too much. And then we'll use, I'm going to throw in, I'm just going to grab some of this. You see all this white here, this extra white? I'm just grabbing that and I'm going to mix it with a teeny bit of our phthalo blue. Maybe you can see that. You see how light it's getting? It's nice and light. Definitely want a nice light color because we're going to make this her eyeshadow. And then to make it really interesting, I think we've got some white here we can use as well. Didn't dry very much because I put a big glob on it. And we're just going to pull a teeny bit of that blue right there. Can you see that? Maybe a little more white. And we're going to blend it in. Let's turn this right side up so we can see it. Oh, look how beautiful she's getting. And we just want a little bit of this nice blue color right around here and here. Kind of breaks up that, that flatness. So Rainy, what's your favorite kind of art to do? Do you have a favorite thing? Do you like animals? Nature? If anyone has a favorite thing, let me know. And can you still hear me okay? I've got my brand new microphone I'm trying out for sound. I was just using my microphone from my cell phone before, but that was not hugely working for me. Okay, so I'm rinsing off my liner brush. I'm going to use a little bit of, let's see, is this purple? This is purple flash, but I want to use our golden flash right there. So my cheat is, I don't want much, so I'm just taking the lid off and putting in just a tip, just a teeny bit on there, scraping it off. And this is for her eyeshadow. I'm just going to give her a nice light. sparkly eyeshadow. Anastasia, she was drawing dragons. Oh my gosh, dragons are one of my favorite things. I actually have a dragon video I did if she wants to check it out. And if there's a way to check hers out, I'd love to see that as well. Okay, I guess I could put this over here so you can see when I'm rinsing. And get my paper towel here. And my bowl is kind of yellowish because I had a lot of yellow. Now the fun part's coming up. So we got kind of our base colors here. Got some nice swirlies. We used our skin tone. We've got our yellow in there. We used our burnt umber for her shading, which we may do more of actually. And then we've also got our raw sienna that we used for other things, and a little bit of phthalo green, what we used in her eyeshadow. Anastasia, what's it say? She loves to draw dragons, starting to learn how to paint a tropical sunset. Oh yeah, sunsets are gorgeous with palm tree and beach. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Is that going to be on your website as well? Or is that going to be on your Instagram or Facebook page? There we go. I don't know how far this mic goes, but I'm way over in the kitchen getting more confidence juice. I think that's what you call it. Maybe you call it something else. For kids, it's apple juice. Apple juice for confidence. I have all these little caps from those paint bottles. You could use them for something. I think I'll just throw them in a bin somewhere and wash them up and see if I can use them for something, or even just for circles, just like that. You can just do circles. Well, it's, hey, look, it's dried up more. That's nice. I don't have a bin. But I do have a spot left on this table that's very crowded. Anastasia, if we post, it will be on my page. She is not on social media yet, which is a good idea because children need to be kept safe from all of that. And being I can't find my spray bottle to wet this down, it keeps it wet. I'll give it one more. Like, it's good to be prepared whenever you're streaming because it's more interesting for the viewers. Oh, I found it. Here it is. And myself. Like, I do get bored too. Here it is. This is my very well used spray bottle to keep my acrylics wet. There, see that? And you can always spray it on here too to re-wet, let's say this white here. I'm going to re-wet that and take a brush, actually just this little fan brush. Let's try that. We haven't used a fan brush yet today. And I'm just going to add a little bit more of our phthalo blue. Oh, I still have some in this right here. And we have a lot of white, and I think it's too much white, so I'm going to just pull that around, pull that around, pull that around, pull that around. See, that's too much water. So with acrylics and watercolor, you can just stick your paper towel there and soak some of that up. And then when it dries, you can just paint right over it. So I think we'll give her a little bit more hair. And I'm going to use our fan brush for that right here. But we're going to use a different color. Anastasia, do you have any pets? And if so, what are they like? I used to have, oh my gosh, I had this awesome pet rabbit. It was a Jersey Woolly, like a miniature Jersey Woolly, these tiny little ears. Oh my gosh, he was the cutest thing. I had him for 8 years. I got him off of Craigslist. And I trained him to come to a whistle. And I taught him what, like I had dried banana chips. And I'd say, do you want a chip? And he'd come running over, climb up my leg, and begging for quietly. Thank goodness rabbits are quiet. They don't bark. And then he would like be scratching at my leg for his chip. And sometimes I would just whistle and he would come to the whistle. He's the best rabbit ever. And I gave him a little toy. It looked like a rabbit. And he loved to hump that thing. It was funny. I'm going to mix some of my blue and my green together here. See if I can do this better. There we go. And then after my rabbit sadly passed away after I had him 8 years, which I got him off Craigslist. My mother was pregnant with twins. And she just didn't have the energy with her. I think she had like a 3-year-old and was having twins, and she couldn't handle a rabbit anymore. And he was a little bit, skittish. He didn't like to be held, but he loved to be pet. And he was white, and he had like dark ears. If I had a picture, I'd love to show you. And but he would come over and he would just sit and let you pet him, and he would be so happy. And I usually have betta fish. I think you do too, right? Yeah, I usually have betta fish. However, as my family and friends know, I always wind up accidentally killing them. Sadly, I had one for 2 years, and I trained him to jump out of his tank. You can cook chicken and give him a little bit of, the size of a tiny worm or something. And I trained him. He jumped right out of the water to grab it right out of my hand. I think I named him Bubbles. And one day, out of carelessness, I just kind of I was living in New York. I'll be honest. Okay, here's the rest of the story. I was living in New York, and it was really cold, and I thought I was heating up my gas stove to make cookies. And I thought, well, it's warming up. I can probably set him right here, and it'll warm up this cold water, because bettas are naturally warm water creatures, right? And so then I realized I didn't have any baking powder. So my neighbor's upstairs. I went up there to ask him, do you have any baking powder? And they were having a party, and I totally forgot I was making cookies, and I'm really embarrassed to say this, but I totally forgot about my betta fish warming up on the stove. And when I got downstairs, he had, this slow jacuzzi experience where he warmed up real well and went to heaven. Dogs are more, I usually have dogs. I had a cat once. Dogs, I've had a lot of dogs. But I'm working 6 days a week now, and I'm trying to make art my way of living because I love it so much. And of course, who likes to work for other people? So I'm trying to make my art my living instead of working for other people anymore. I did have my own job. I mean, I worked for myself in Seattle because I lived in Seattle for a long time. And I had my own hair tanning salon and spa for 10 years, and it was so fun. And then I moved to New York. I had a life change, is what I'm going to call it. And I moved to New York to be with my sister. She partially disabled, and I went there to kind of help her out and drive her around places and stuff like that. Sadly, she passed away in 2020 from natural things, not from the what do you call it? Okay, we were talking about pets. Let's go back to that. Anastasia, do you have any pets? It's easy for me to get distracted. I'll tell you that for sure. Let's get a little more of our darker brown, and we're just going to go, ooh, ooh. There we go. Give her a little more excitement here. Another hair. I think I have ADD for sure. Okay, so I've got a lot of brown right here, just from those 2 dots. And right now I'm going to take this, oops, let's see. Oh, that's the vodka one, which is for an eraser, not for drinking. Okay, and our little spray bottle. And clean that off a bit. And you always want to kind of get off the excess water. I don't know if you can see that on the paper towel. I'm just going to add a little bit of this and to that water, and then I'm going to soak some of that up for a minute and add a teensy bit of shading. Okay, now we're going to let that dry for a minute. Let me see if I can just kind of smush that around a little bit more. It's funny, as an artist. Oh, Anastasia, you have lots of fish. Awesome. 4 cats. A dog named Zoe. Is that right? Zoe or Zoe? And Josh has a cat named Bubbles. Oh, that was the name of my fish. So that's cool at his place. That's good. So you can you each have a little bit of some kind of living companion at each other's houses. Woo. One of my favorite things is just letting your emotion and your feelings take over. So this is not going to be the most perfect. However, do you see that right there? I do not like it. She looks sad. So I'm going to take a little bit of our darker color and give her a teeny bit of a smile. There we go. Can you see that? Maybe a teeny bit more lip. And just a little more shading right below here. And a tiny bit. Let me rip some of this off. Kind of going around her chin here. And I haven't really painted on canvas board much, so I'm not real familiar with it. But it really seems to have a lot of personality. So I'm going to use a teeny bit more yellow. This time I'm not going to put it right on the canvas. Actually, I'm going to steal it right out of this tube top because I don't need a lot. And the excess I will put here on this. And now I'm going to highlight her lower jaw. With the yellow, and also her top of her forehead. A little bit on her nose. And you can see I did a little line there, which isn't doing anything for this painting. It's one thing about painting, you just kind of like watch it as it goes. Now, I used to always well plan out my paintings, and I would just, almost like a coloring book, I'd like make that picture or draw it, and then I would just fill in the colors, almost, you know, just like a coloring book. But lately, because I've been so busy, I'm just freestyling. All right, let's let that dry a little bit. Yeah, so I would like this to become more of my, see, I do have a, like a pen somewhere. I think a paint pen that I'm going to use to draw in some flowers and then fill those in. I have some calligraphy pens and markers. They come in for like details later. What else do we have here? I think she needs more color in her face, so we'll get to that in a bit. And this is like a gel pen. I'm going to move this painting for just a bit, and let's see. Ooh, yeah, it's a white gel pen. Let's get it working. Hello. And thank you. For joining my stream. What? Come on. Do we have to shake this? Does anyone else use gel pens? Which actually doesn't start with a J, it starts with a G. Gel. Probably if I use it for a while, it would just start flowing, right? And I'm using this brown paper on my art table. To keep my table from getting too dirty. I'll get a little closer here. Now, the white is usually used at the end for highlights, so I'm going to save that and get my darker pen. Oh my goodness, I have so many things out here. I'm also going to organize into, eventually into different, I'm going to have a section for acrylics, a section for watercolors, and a section for oils, and one for charcoals and pencils. Try to do that in a small space. Which looks a little muddy. It looks dirty. Let's get that off of there. I'm going to use a wet brush to kind of calm that down a little bit. I was watching on YouTube. There's an artist. Her name is, what is it? Something Milan. And she became famous as a teenager. She was so gifted. Her parents were both artists. And she started painting, I think, at age 8. I watched her video today. What is her name? Maybe you know, something Milan. And she sells her paintings for like millions now. And she was just very gifted and very fortunate to have 2 artistic parents that were able to teach her art. And she took many classes in art. Now, I haven't been able to do that myself, the classes, although I would love to. But being that I'm mostly self-taught, and working 6 days a week, I don't have time for classes, although I am going to make time. This is 2025, and it's time for New Year resolution to get myself in gear for this new year. And this is going to be my year, and maybe you'll all help me out by buying prints of my art. And let's see, can you still hear me okay? And I'm sure if anyone's still there, you'll be listening. I don't know if we stream live, if you can cut it later and make it shorter. Cut scenes out or not. Now, I'm not a realist kind of painter. Like I said, I'm a color painter. And I'm going to use some cobalt blue. And my niece Tiva, she sent these to me for Christmas. So I've been very excited to try them out. That's cobalt blue. It looks lighter than your average cobalt blue. But I'm going to use a little bit of that. I have the longer liner brush and the shorter liner brush. And I'm using neither of those for this. I'm just going to try this. I think it's a scrub brush, number 10. And let's get some of that water out of there. I'm going to add a little bit of that cobalt blue. I'm just going to do something weird here. Because I like to paint how I feel. And I don't always feel like doing things the way they're supposed to be. Sometimes I like just doing things the way I want them to be. And that's okay because that's what art is. It's our expression of self. Okay, I'm gonna rinse that brush off and we're gonna get a little more. This is 9:30 already. It's been an hour and a half. Okay, I swear, I swear we're gonna be done soon. And swearing is bad, kids. Don't swear. Ooh, look at that, blended right in nicely. I'm gonna take a little more of that apricot color. Stick it right there. And I do want a little more red on her nose. Now that cobalt blue wasn't as dark as normal cobalt blue is. But like I said, this is a new paint I'm trying out that my niece sent me for Christmas. And here's one. It's a Prussian blue. That looks pretty dark. Let's see how it compares to our cobalt blue in this brand. Oh yeah, see, that's much darker. Can you see that? Anyway, you can use whatever colors you like and just have fun with them. I'm going to kind of let this dry. And while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to get her ear a little bit darker. This is our second coat. And underneath her ear as well. Another thing I do is I don't know if anyone else does this, maybe you do. I overpaint. And one of the most important things in painting is knowing when to stop. So that is something I have not learned very well. And I don't see how that kind of went into her eye. I'm going to use a sweat brush. Look at that. It takes it right out. And then I'm going to use this paper towel. Or actually, a Q-tip would work even better. And I like to keep Q-tips in this little case here. And I'm going to soak up a little bit of that on her eye. Whew. Well, I hope one of you will share your YouTubes with me so I can follow you. And now we're going to, I'm just going to use my Sharpie maybe, or my calligraphy pen. Which one should I use? I'm deciding here. Because whatever I use is going to set the tone. That's a marker. Let's check out the tips. Too wide. Because I want something nice and thin. And we're going to add some beautiful color. Oh, that's nice and thin. This is a Prismacolor number B. You might try that one. And this one is a Prismacolor. No, it's an AP brush tip marker. I don't know. That might be a little too brushy. Then I also have your typical Sharpie. It's got a little pen here. It's got a very, ooh, that's perfect. Fine tip. See that? And I'm going to just follow my lines. And then we'll add the flowers. Yep, that was too wet. Brush some of that off. Self-expression is good. I mean, there's art therapy, and to me, art is therapy. So I will be starting some lessons in art therapy with you guys pretty soon here. I'm going to schedule a class, and we're going to start out, and flowers are pretty easy to paint, and there's so many different kinds of flowers. You cannot go wrong painting a flower. So that's something that we are going to do. And it's a new thing I'm starting, and that's going to be soon coming up. Okay, I think that's still too wet. So I'm not going to use this Sharpie. I'm going to use this. Is this a brush? Oh, this was a number 8. Where's the brush? Oh, well. You can try the number 8. I don't know how it'll look. Ooh, look at that. Nice and thick. And I think, what are these? These iridescent colors take longer to dry than your average tube paint, it seems like. And that's okay. It gives you time to think about and contemplate what you're going to do next. Now, our yellows have already dried. And what do we want to put here? We're going to do a few just kind of fun flowers. Some shading. She's just kind of flowing like she's in a dream. Like just kind of like life is kind of like, you know, it's there, but she's in a happy place. And no one can make her feel bad. She's just like, I don't know, how do you want to describe it? Discontent, maybe. Kind of serene. I would love to feel serene during the day. I'm one of those people who have like a schmuck ton of anxiety. Like right now, doing the stream, and it's taking like a little longer than I planned and hoped. It's giving me anxiety. And I'm pretty sure no one else, I don't know if anyone's even watching anymore. So let's do a little bit of this. See, I saw this trick on, was it TikTok or YouTube or something, where they kind of drew on their makeup. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of that. Give her a little darker nose. Boop. And right there, a little darker lip. And I'm using a Prismacolor Premier, some kind of tip. Number, is that a B or an 8? I don't know. It looks like a B. Is there anyone that happens to be watching tonight that has made a career of their art and not have to work anymore, like, for someone else? If there is, I would be very inspired and excited to hear about it. Now this is going to be a hibiscus flower. Hibiscus is a very popular flower here in Florida. Pretty easy to grow, very beautiful, and they also make tea, hibiscus tea. If you're a tea drinker, it's an herbal tea, and it has its own qualities of health and wellness. And here I'm going to add a little lip, and right here a little lip, and here a little lip, and here a little lip. And what are these lips, you ask? That is the flower folding over on the tips. Hey, Rich, you're back. Yay! Thank you for joining me again. I missed you. Whoop. And Anastasia, if you're still there, you and your daughter, hearts to you. You're in North Dakota. It must be freezing up there. Now here, I'm going to put in a little bit of leaves. And you can make your leaves anything you want to. Boop, 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 boop. I am so tired right now. I think the best time to paint is probably in the morning when you're waking up, having your coffee, just kind of starting to enjoy the day. Make this a little bit thicker down here. I get up and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta go to work again. It's, the 6th or 8th day in a row that I've been working. That gets old real fast. I am telling you. So as soon as I can get this as a career, and please tell me if you'd like to buy a print of any of my paintings that you see on YouTube or my Facebook, please let me know. I will make a deal with you because I am a professional, caring person. And I know a lot of people don't have a lot of money. So my goal, okay, here's that flower. And then I'm also going to do like something else there in a minute. But for now, let's see. I'm going to try out another color. Scarlet red. I don't know. It came in a thing like this. So I'm just kind of picking out colors. You can see I've already got a lot out. So I'm going to put this scarlet red. I don't want to put it directly on the canvas this time because I need to regulate. That's not very scarlet. Looks more pink. But that's okay. Let's see if there's a red. Crimson. Here's a crimson red. Let's see if that's any darker. Ooh, yeah. That is darker. I like that. So we'll mix where's our purple white? I'm just gonna use regular white for now. And you always got to have a lot of white on hand when you're an artist. Blacks, whites. I try not to use black too much. I try to use like a midnight blue or something, because that's when you know that dark offsets the light and it brings it out. And black is kind of like a non-color color. So let's see. Let's use some of this dark. I'm using my short liner pen paintbrush for these shadows in the darker areas of this painting. And then we'll use the lighter one for the highlights. Look at this. This is kind of tucked underneath both of them, both petals. So we're going to use that darker color. Now this petal is under that petal. So you want to have the shadows just the right way. This is such a long live stream. Let's see here. If anyone wants to share theirs with me, I would love to watch your live streams. I would be so excited because we can all learn from each other. And my son stopped in earlier. Mr. Jang, he has the most awesome streaming right now. He has been streaming like 24/7 basically for like the last 3 years, trying to, make a name for himself. And he is doing excellent at it, and I'm so proud of him. This is shading or shadow. And this is where the petal kind of overlaps, so we want our shadow right underneath that. And Anastasia she's probably gone by now, putting her child to bed. Rich, you can do it. I am sure. Rich, you are so awesome. You're like one of my best friends ever. We knew each other when I lived in upstate New York. We worked at the same company for a while. And here's a funny fact about Rich. I hope you don't get upset with me for sharing this, but he actually made squirrel soup. He makes squirrel soup, and he said, "Here." I'm like, "That's interesting." So he made some for me, and I was brave enough to try it. And it was actually, I don't recall it being like bad or anything. It wasn't terrible. I actually don't even remember what it tasted like. So, but interesting, And then recently I met another person who makes squirrel soup. Cheap meat, I guess. I hope it's not roadkill, but maybe you hit it with a slingshot. Has anyone ever saw, it's that series where they go into the wilderness and they kind of like, they're given certain tools to work with, and they can build a cabin or a shelter, and they have to survive. The one that survives the longest wins the bank, whatever the bank is. That's not going very far, is that? Okay, it was still wet. Ah, poop. Acrylics are supposed to dry fast. This is a nice green color. And here's our lighter and our white. So we're going to just take a little bit of water and blend a little bit of our pink here. I don't want too much. Rinse off my brush, tap it, dry it off a little bit, and I'm going to add some white. There we go. That's pretty. And this is going to be where it folds over. Her hibiscus kind of folds itself a little bit. And also have some highlights to see where it's darker underneath. So we want that to be highlighted above it to show the depth. I think it'd be a good idea not to drink wine when you're doing a live stream. Your confidence juice. It is a good idea, however, to do it when you are singing karaoke. Ooh, let's make some pink bubbles. Little dabs here. I kind of smushed this up over my painting. I like Anastasia's comment earlier. She has lots of fish, 4 cats, and a dog. Life used to be so hard. Oh, what is that song? Now it's become easier because of you. Because of you, baby. Okay, I'm definitely having too much wine. Maybe I should stop this and finish it later, but whatever. I don't care at this point. Some people make very professional videos, very professional live streams. I'm lucky to even be able to have the time to do it. You know what I mean? Time is a very important thing. You got to use your time to the best of your ability. It's a precious thing, time. You never know how much of it you have. It was nice when I was younger and I didn't have to really think about too much, you know. I just thought about, ooh, you know, where am I going to go out tonight? Who am I going to go out with? You know, where's the fun going to be? And as you get older, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die every time you just think of something. Unless you always stay adventurous, which I recommend. Just be adventurous. Don't stop living. Don't become too afraid to live. Once you become too afraid to live, that's when your life is over. Who wants their life to be over? I don't. I don't want to get old. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you what I look like. And I am 59 years old, which is weird because I don't feel it. I definitely don't look it. And no one would ever guess I'm that age. I've been very blessed. Thank you to my good DNA for that. Let's add some white to this. Yeah, very good DNA. And I look at like people from my age from high school and I'm like, wow, they look really old. I'm not going to use brown because I don't have any on this palette right now. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this raw sienna and I'm going to mix it with this dark. Let's see, let's rinse off some of this water. What is this? Oh yeah, is this some kind of blue? The dark blue, Prussian blue. And that's what's going to go right here. This is the center of our flower. And that's where we have our petals. Someone told me once that they never use black. They only use, like midnight blue or some other dark color. And there's another famous artist that never uses green. He'll use blue and he'll use yellow. And the two combined become the greens, like various greens, which is gorgeous in a painting because there's no actual, set color. Let's put some pink in there. Let's get some white, a lot of white, put a teeny bit of pink in there. You think, oh, that's not very much. And I've got a little bit of white or too much water on my brush again. And, oh yes, our flower. Maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit more color. Is that pretty? I think that's pretty. That's good. Gonna wish the brush around. You can see where this is, but the wonderful thing about acrylics is you just paint over it. If you cover something up accidentally, don't worry about it. And then our green, I'm not going to do a lot of on the green. I'm just going to use a really pretty iridescent yellow green flash. But once again, I have to take off the lid because I didn't realize they had these awesome plastic lids that keep it nice and safe. See that? And we're just going to kind of just go shoop, shoo, shoop, shoop, shoo. Look at that. This is painting. This is art. You just kind of just do your thing, And smear some of that off here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But I'm smearing some of it off right there. Okay. I'm obviously very tired. Okay, so we got our, oh, here it is. Here's our green, and I put the lid somewhere. Oh, here it is. This is going to be so gorgeous. You'll see. We'll do the light first. And this time I am just going to put it on the canvas itself. If I can get it to come out. Yeah, it was really nice of my niece to give me these paints for Christmas. I've never gotten paints from my family members to acknowledge that I'm a good painter. Even my parents, they'd give it to my sister. And to me, because I was really good at doing hair, they'd give me all the hair stuff. Not the liner, not the fat brush. We need a different brush for this, and it's going to be a tiny little, what is this one? It's kind of a square brush. It's been used a lot, so it's not perfect. And I'm just going to do this and smush it around. Oops. Ooh. Okay, so note to self and others that the ink from your pen will smear when you go over it with paint. I think I should probably turn this off. But anyway, let me know, you guys, if you, if you have a stream yourself. I'd be very excited to see how you paint or how you stream or what you stream or what you're interested in. because it's very important to have a community in life and not feel alone. I cannot tell you how alone I feel a lot of times and throughout my life. Nobody cares about me. I'm going to go eat worms. And why am I even alive? I felt that. I've thought that. People have great lives. There's always something in someone's life that just doesn't resonate, with your average happy go lucky. Wow, my life is terrific. No matter, people can be rich and have tons of money, and then they go and commit suicide. And you think, wow, all I've ever wanted is money. And then you find out that someone who has everything that you want isn't happy. So, how do you know that that's something that really will make you happy? So, the point here is to be happy. Just make it a point to, choose happiness. And when you choose happiness every day, because you only have one day that you're going to live, you only have one moment that you're going to live, you're only going to have, a short time. We think that life will live forever, and then we only have a short time. Next thing you know, you're like 90. I'm not quite 90 yet, but I'm sure when I get there, I'll be like, oh my gosh, it happened so fast. And what did I do with my life? Not much. And, what could I have done? Oh, I wasted all this time. I could have been doing this. I should have done what I really wanted to do and not what people expected me to do. And that's the worst thing that could happen, is to not live your life the way you choose. All right, so I'm going to call it a night. It looks like, oh my gosh, it looks like she has a beard, doesn't it? Okay, wait, before I call it a night, let's see if I can paint a little more of this light apricot over this beautiful woman using my big brush with no water on it. What's the most dangerous thing you've ever done in your life? The most daring thing, the thing that made you like, oh, this is not me, but I'm doing it. Has anyone got one of those? I'm telling you, I would love to hear about it. It's an inspiration to people when someone can actually do something that's, not themselves, but you get out of your shell. You just get out of your shell and you just go for something. And you just do it. You're just like, fuck it. I'm going to just do it, I'm just doing it. You only live once, YOLO. I got way too much water. I am trying to blend this, but I remember when I lived in Seattle, this is like over 20 years ago, I had my own hair tanning salon and spa. And in that, I also had the ability to, I rented out booths for other hairdressers, for, what do you call it? Estheticians, pedicurists, manicurists, all that stuff. And it was amazing and I loved it and had so much fun. And then, things change in your life. I started selling my paintings at that time. And it was really amazing. And my life was going really well. But as one learns throughout the years, you are not in control of your life. You are for a while and you think you are, but then some bullshit happens. And all of a sudden you realize, geez, I'm not in control at all. And that's a huge lesson to learn. A huge lesson to learn. But if you learn that and you keep going, that's what's important. You just keep going. Let's see, can you see this at all? I don't know. It's even in the camera. Let me pull this up a little bit. Rich, oh hey. Hi, I didn't see you. Say that. Good advice on life. Do what makes you happy. Don't sit on the couch watching television and then complain about your life. Yeah, absolutely not. You know, that is not it, you know. And I've watched like YouTube videos and TED Talks and stuff where people are like, oh, this is what I did, how I made my way in life and how I became uh, famous and successful. And they're always really humble. And I'm always awe-inspired, really, by their stories. And I just love hearing about successful stories and, you know, and then thinking, okay, what can I do to do that for me instead of being jealous or whatever. Or envious. I don't know if anyone ever watched Shazam and the Seven Deadly Sins. I'm kind of a kid at heart, so I watch stuff like that sometimes. Okay, see all this brown here? I want to find something that's going to give it texture, something I can put on it that's going to be like, dude, that's cool. So I'm looking around my art room right now to see if I can find anything that's like texturally that I can put on there. And oh, hey, here's a watch band. I never really wear this color purple. This is for like this is a watch band. And I'm just going to take this because I feel like it. I'm going to do this and push it down. And then I'm going to take I still have some white in here. I'll use this brush again. Okay, I'm going to kind of turn this. I'm going to hold this down to keep it stable, nice and steady. And then I'm going to just push this through here. Okay. Push, 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 push. Oops. I got stuck in my camera holder for my cell phone. And Rich, as soon as I get your awesome camera you sent me up and working, I do have to unfortunately get a different SIM card for it. Somehow, I read the list of SIM cards that go with it, and I think that's part of the deal. Like, you got me a really good one. Oh, which one is this? Golden again. Okay, too much shadow. Sorry, guys. But you got me a really great camera and a good SIM card, but it's not on the list of SIM cards to use with this particular camera. So I apologize. And I am going to get one that is on the list. Okay, now let's just kind of gently push this down into the crevices of this watch band, and let's find out what happens when we're done with this. Not sure if we're even going to get that down far enough, or I think we should pour a little bit more white paint on there. Yeah, get it nice and thick. Come on. And this is the iridescent one that my niece got for me for Christmas. And I invited her to watch the stream, but she has a young baby and another child, and she is a super busy gal. But she is like beautiful artist, a beautiful, beautiful girl, woman, I should say. She's married, and she's one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen. Ooh, look how that is filling in. That I know, and she's like kind and meek and mild, and I wish I could get her out into the public. She created her own line of facial oil products and beautifully packaged them. Oh, hey, Rich. What do you got? Card will be on the way soon. I already found the right one. Aren't you funny? Oh, I love you. You're awesome. You're one of my best friends I've had the longest in my life. And I hope you are staying warm up there in upstate New York with all that snow right now, because it is freaking cold. All right, so now we got this filled in with our watch band. I kind of want to leave it there, but we have to pick it up. How can we do this without smearing it? What is the best way? I'm going to try, because I've never done this before. I'm going to put my finger right here on the tip of this. I don't know. I hope you can see it. I don't think you can. Let me move this over. Move this back. Here we go. Can you see that? I'm going to put my finger right here and slowly bring this up. And there's flowers. Woohoo! How exciting! I love it. Okay, I'm waiting to see it on video. The video is a little slower than what I'm doing in real life time. And it's not very big holes. And see how that's brown on there? Let's take a rag, and we're going to wipe this off. The best thing would be to rinse it off in the sink. However, because I'm doing a short video, I am not doing that. I'm just going to put it right here. And once again, fill it in with our iridescent. Let's see, this one was white golden flash. I will use that again. And let's do this. We're going to just smush it in there. We want a lot of paint because we're going to smush it down into the cracks. Time is it? Anybody know? 10:30 here? Ooh. Wine is gone. You need grown-up juice. Okay, and I was using this little guide to poke it in. Trying to see if I have an older, more beat-up brush that will stick down further into the crevices right now. And I do have one. Check that out. That's going to look really good. I'm not even going to get it wet. Just going to push it into the holes. I never wear this watch band. I wear, like, I got a pack on Amazon in all different colors. And like the one that came with my iWatch or whatever you call it is, you know, it was so thick and it made my wrists sweat because there was no breathability. So I ordered this one and it has little holes in it. Let's do this. Yeah, there we go. Got some lights. Let's bring it on through. Give it some glowingness. Look at that sparkle. I love this stuff. This is really cool. Bring it up a little more. I hope you can zoom in. Like if you want to see it closer, you can always zoom in. That's what I do. I'll pause. I love to watch other people's. Like there was these two main gals that I follow. They were in Florida and now they're in Seattle where I used to live. And now I'm here. They were both in Florida and then they moved to Seattle, which I've already been there, done that. But let's see, one is Lena Dania. She's been a super inspiration to me for like 10 years. And she can paint realism like nobody's business. And she's super fun and down to earth. And I just love her and her art and her, I don't know, just the way she is. She's just a real person. She's not like, oh, I've been to school or blah, blah, blah. She's just like, this is me and this is my life. And God, she inspired me so much 10 years ago. And if I would have been brave enough to do what she did, I would be where she is now, roughly. Oops, I probably did a little too much, but that gives it texture. I'm going to take this and let's turn it this way. And just for fun, I'm just going to stick it right down here and push. I hope you can see that. Push, 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 push. I'm not adding any more color. I hope you can see that. Let me pull this over a little more. I'm just pushing with the paint that's already on there into these holes. Wiping my finger off, and then I'm going to kind of jam it a little bit. Wipe, 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 and stick in the water and carefully pull this on up. Yeah. Definitely my bedtime. Give her some sparkly cheeks. Sparkle, sparkle. I was going to do more flowers, but I'm pretty tired. I'll probably add them later and do like a short. So you can kind of like watch later for a short on my channel. And it's, you know, I'm going to add some music and fun stuff like that. And it'll be easy to watch. It won't take like hours like this video has. Live stream. Oh yeah, there's two other people. What are their names? One is Lecrae Fine Art. She's really good. And then the other one, oh my gosh, she's got such a calm voice. I can't think of her name right now, but next time I'm on, I will definitely know more about that and let you know. And once this dries, I'm gonna like go over it with some other stuff. So it'll be really cool once it's done. Obviously, I'm not gonna get it done tonight because I like do a lot of focusing on details, and I think everyone's gone to bed. Oh, Rich, you said 10:12 p.m., but you need more wine. I finished my wine; it's all gone. I have more in the kitchen, but I'm tempted to get more. But okay, so this is our basic painting. Let me bring this up here. I'm just going to kind of like get it close and let's see, let me bring this light up a little more and bring the camera up and let's see if you can see this, like the watch thing I did. Do you see those little flowers from the watch? That looks kind of cool, right? And then the hair, and you can see some of the sparklies and stuff like that. I'm going to add a lot more to it on the next video, but it's not going to be a live video. It's going to be a short. I specialize in shorts, even wearing shorts, being that it is Florida. And also here is like more of my table. It is like very crowded with, whoops, wait, come back. Orientation is locked. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Whatever. Let me put this back. Ah, poop. Okay, let's try this. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that's another painting I did. That's my daughter over there. And that's her too. I did a painting of her there. Actually, since I got this up here, I'm going to privilege. Oh, whoops, why is this falling apart? I'm going to show you a couple things I've painted and not worry about how. Okay, close your eyes for a minute. I'm going to turn this camera. I don't know why it keeps sliding down. Weird. Okay. Loosen this up. Oh God, I cannot wait till I get that camera working that my friend gave me from New York. It's going to be awesome. All right. You want to see something else I've done? I'm going to show you a couple things because I am not a bad artist. Actually, really awesome. This one is a oil painting I've done. It's a bird of paradise in oil. And in the center, there is a ballerina. Ballerina? I've always loved ballet. And this gal, she is a ballerina inside of a bird of paradise. And I just love that because it's very Florida, very tropical, elegant, and she's dancing inside of a flower. If you would like, let me see if I can bring this up a little higher. I'm trying to learn how to sell my paintings because like, oh geez, for so many years I've done so many paintings and I haven't even made prints or anything, but I would love to sell them. Let's see if I can change this up a little bit. You know what, I'm just going to start a new video. But anyway, that one is an oil I did. I just love, and I love ballet. And, oops, hi. You know what? You want to? I'm going to turn this around so you can see me. I put my hair up because I didn't want to get my hair. Why is this spinning everywhere? I have to hold it with my hand. But like, this is me. I'm Rachel Hogan. Let's take out my hair. And Rich, I do think I've had enough wine, obviously, because hello, guys. I'm Rachel, and I am excited. If you did join my stream, if you're watching it now, if you have any comments, or if you learned anything from it, and yes, I'm in my Batman pajamas. You guys all have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will put this short on within the next couple days. Being that I work 6 days a week, it's super hard for me to get like all of this, you know, my art business going. But I am 59 years old. I think it's time. Love you. Good night. This is going to go to private, but I have to adjust it to go to public. So give me a couple of minutes and you'll be able to watch this. Thank you so much. I love anyone who's watched this or subscribed.